What's up? Bradley Aiden Johnson here. Based on the response that I got to the last video I did on just getting started, I thought I would do like a series of videos on this, and I'm going to try and keep going as long as I can to give people as much relevant, note the word, relevant help as I possibly can give on this issue of getting fit, getting ripped for 2014, 15, 16 and beyond, and just avoiding all the foolishness and getting straight to stuff that actually does something and feeling better about yourself. So first of all, I'd like to do, as I noticed there's a trend on this YouTube thing of all the fitness professionals, all the fitness sites. They make a video and they just say, here's some advice, here's some advice, here's some advice. And they never qualify the advice with saying who the advice is for. And if they do, they don't make it very obvious. So I'm going to make it real obvious. This is for people that haven't been training or haven't been getting anything like the results they wanted to get. For people that maybe started last year, lost a little bit of weight, but then have stalled and are nothing like, they're looking at themselves in the mirror, they're like, I don't look anything like I want to look. I'm not feeling anything like I want to feel. I'm not strong in the gym. I'm not doing it. I'm just not there. I'm not even close to there. Not for people that are on their way and just haven't quite got there yet. I'm talking about people that aren't even in like the city of where they're trying to get to, and they're just trying to make some gains or some losses, whatever. So that once I've qualified that, hopefully you understand. This is for the new people. This is for you. Okay. Hopefully, you watched the previous video that I did and just said, get up off your backside and start doing some training of some description. And anyone that watched that video that wasn't currently in a training program or wasn't currently lifting weights, I hope, of all the people that watched the video, some of you, one of you, any of you, half of you, started lifting some weights and did something. Got up, went, screw it, let me do some push-ups right now. Let me do some chins in my doorway. I've got these dumbbells here. Let me do some bicep curls even. Anything. They just started doing anything. Let me do some air squats, whatever it was. They went to their gym. They signed up, got a new membership. They went to the park with their friend. In those park things with all the little useless machines. They're not that useless. Well, they're useless. Anyway, I hope somebody did that. If you are, this is one of you, this entire video series is just for you. Just for you. So, you start training, you're like, what am I going to do? I walk into the gym now, or you've got your dumbbells and you're like, what should I do? What's the first thing that I should do? Now, I'm trying to fit as much information as I possibly can into this one video, so bear with it. It will give you something of an idea of a structure for how you can sort out your training for the next little while. Because the first thing you should know is because you're new to this, your training does not need to be perfect. You don't need to be on the perfect way of building muscle. You don't need to read any studies. You don't need to check out how they've MRI'd muscle tissue after and post exercise. You don't need any of that. If you're wondering, is strong lifts better? Is ice cream 5x5 better? Is this thing from bodybuilding.com, this split that I found, there's a routine that I saw in Men's Fitness. I just saw this on the back of I bought some dumbbells and there's a big wall post and it said do these exercises and do these reps. What rep range should I use? Is it 8 to 12? Is it 12 to 15? Should I go 3 to 5? Should I do singles, triples, doubles? What should I do? I'm going to tell you the real truth. It actually doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter at all. A lot of people are going to be saying, it's like, no, what are you talking about? That's rubbish. As long as your rep range is under, say, 20, so it's like sensible, you're probably fine. If you're doing squats and your rep range is 20, 18 or something like that, it's fine. If it's 5, it'll be fine. You're a new trainer. Whatever you do, you're going to be building muscle. You're going to be improving your strength and conditioning and adapting to new techniques as long as you're doing them correctly. So what you should do is you should walk into a gym or grab some dumbbells and you should think, what are the major muscles of my body? Now, a quick Google search will help you. And if not, I'll do it for you. The major muscles would be, say, quads, hamstring, abdominals, lower back, chest, bicep, triceps, lats. That's it. Okay? A lot of exercises that you do are going to hit multiple muscle groups at the same time. For instance, any form of back exercise is unless you find some funky one, is going to hit your lats and your biceps. It's very unlikely you'll find one that doesn't. So you do lateral pull down, you're going to be hitting your lats, you're going to be hitting your biceps. You do bent over row, it's the exact same thing the other way around. You do rows on a cable, it's going to be the same thing. You do bar, dumbbell, individual rows, it's going to be fine. Should I do barbell overhand rows or should I go underhand? Should I do pendlay rows? If you're thinking about all this, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do whichever one you want. Whichever one makes you feel more fun. Should I do chin-ups in the doorway? Sure. Should I do them chin-ups or should I do them pull-ups? Who cares? Should I do the lat? When I do the lat grip, should I have my grip wide? Should I have it close? Should I have it? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Do whichever one that you find most entertaining, that's best and easiest on your joints, that doesn't give you any pain or any discomfort as you're doing it, that you can just focus on actually getting a workout. When it comes to your chest, the best, simplest way of working your chest is to get on in a rack, nice safe bench press, take the bar, do flat bench press with a barbell. If not, use dumbbells. If not, do dips. If not, do push-ups. If not, you're struggling. If not, should I do them flat, incline, decline? It doesn't really matter. That's the truth. Doesn't really matter. Do them flat, do them incline, do them decline. No one really cares. A lot of people are going to give you lots of different information. Say, oh yeah, you shouldn't do the flat bench. You do. It doesn't hit all parts of their chest. These people are being pedantic. They are being silly. They don't understand that what they are trying to chase is a tiny little 1 or 2%. You should be concerned with the 98.99. 98.99 is just stimulating the chest and triceps through some form of pressing motion, whether it is push-ups, flat, incline, decline, dumbbells. You know, just make sure whatever you're doing doesn't cause you any discomfort. And I will say this now because everyone makes this mistake: don't bench like that, bench like that. Don't bench like that, bench like that. If you're doing push-ups, you do them from here. Push-ups from here, bench from here, incline, decline. Always make sure not to put too much pressure on this shoulder joint here. That's some advice for that. In terms of your legs, squats. Squat pretty often. That'll do it. If not squat, leg press. Should you do front squat? You should do back squats. They're easy. Should they be high bar or low bar? If you know what that means. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't greatly matter. Should they be in the front? Should my grip be like this or should my grip be like this? Doesn't greatly matter. Should I do them with a safety squat bar? If you have them, cool, do it. Doesn't greatly matter. Should I not do leg press? If you can't squat, squatting's the king. If you can't squat, do leg press, it's fine. If you got a hack squat machine and you don't have something else, just do the hack squats. It's fine. I don't have any machine, don't have access to do weight. Can I do air squats? For the start of what you're doing, yes you can. Because if you're a person that hasn't squat before, air squats are fantastic. I remember when I first started training, the first day doing air squats, the next day I was walking around, oh my gosh. It was like that scene from American History X. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I could not walk to save my life. I was like, from air squats. After a certain time, that won't be enough for you. So you'll need to increase in weight. And the easy way to do that is if you can't squat and if there's no facility for you to squat heavy, and some people, that's just the reality, do lunges. Do lunges, do single leg squats, do pistol squats. There's a million ways of doing things. You've got to work with what you've got. If all you've got in your house is some 10 kilo dumbbells, do some lunges with them. Do some single leg squats. Do whatever. There's a million ways to get really big legs just in your bedroom at home. If you've got a gym, use the facilities there. Nothing's going to be better than going with a heavy barbell loaded up with correct form, going down, doing a full to depth parallel leg squat. Perfect. Back squat. Excellent. But if you can't do that, don't do that. You know, do lunges, do something else. That's your legs. For abs, do some crunches. You know, do them at the end of your workout. Make sure you're focusing on crunching. So your motion should be as if you're I would say trying to eat your sternum. This is your sternum. This is your mouth. Try and eat your sternum. You obviously can't eat your sternum. But what it does is it focuses the crunch area and the thoracic area of the spine as opposed to making it here down here in the lumbar region, which is more predominantly hip flexors. What you actually do is you'll stretch your hip flexors doing this and not actually hitting the abdominal muscles, which is a bend here in the thoracic spine, but that's something else. Hit those, try and get some lower back work, whether it's cable pull-througs, hyperextensions on a bench where you bend over and you literally just lift your body up like this. Like that, which just tests your lower back. Or cable pull-throughs when you grab a cable and you pull it through your leg and you just stand up. Or deadlifts. If you have someone teach you to do deadlift, if you're safe and confident in doing that motion, deadlifts are obviously fantastic. They're a fantastic exercise. Some people watching this are going to be like, why isn't he heavily pushing squats, deadlifts or bench? Because I've been teaching people to squat, deadlift and bench for a while now. And people struggle with that movement. And if all you have is these YouTube videos, the chances of you executing a safe and effective deadlift without training coaching are not particularly high. This is one of the problems with the whole YouTube world. You don't see this side of it. It's all well and good when you see these incredibly trained, muscle-bound, ripped people doing these lifts and these movements and then doing them fine. The vast majority of people, I'm not trying to hold people, my phone is full of videos of people squatting, deadlifting, and benching, do it very, very incorrectly. And these heavy lifts, heavy movements can end up causing more problems and building less muscle than if they just went to their gym and just did things with the machines that I think are terrible and everyone thinks are terrible because they are terrible. Sometimes it's best to just do what you're comfortable with, what you enjoy, what you find fun, what you find safe, what you know how to do, than to go crazy doing these exercises that you know scientifically to be better. Deadlift is one of the best exercises you can possibly do. And a correctly executed deadlift is one of the best exercises you probably can do. But if you don't have the money for a coach and you're going to be using the PTs at your local gym, you might as well just walk out, jump over a balcony, fall down and let your spine hit narrowly on the on the fence and just break and be done with it, because you're probably just going to be doing that in the gym with that person. Or even worse, you won't get your injury, but you won't actually make any gains from it. I'm not sure why I put it in that order, but hey, I'd rather make gains and be injured than be fine and not make gains. That's just the way it is. Anyway, for your biceps and triceps specifically, because you've been doing bench, you're hitting your triceps, because you can, or push-ups, you're hitting your triceps, or whatever it is, you're going to be hitting your triceps, because you're doing chins, or lat pull down, or bent over rows, or rows, whatever it is, you're going to be hitting your biceps. Don't worry about curling. But if you want to curl. If you want to do some tricep stuff, go for it. As long as you're not hurting, you're not uncomfortable, and you're working out, and you're getting a burn, you're feeling good, go for it. What type of programming should you use? Splits. Should you have body split where you do a body part for your chest? Maybe you have chest day, you do chest and triceps, and then the next time you go into the gym you do more bicep stuff with back, and another day you have a legs day, and then maybe an abs day and like forearms or somewhere. Whatever your weird split is, should you do a split, or should you do a full body routine when you walk in and you hit all parts of the body equally, where you start off with squats, you move into bench press, and you do heavy compound movements? Now scientifically, beyond any shadow of doubt, if you disagree with me, please just unsubscribe from my channel, because you're just wrong. And if with all the information that's on YouTube, if you still disagree and you're on YouTube right now and think that a full body routine is not the perfect way for a novice to train, then you just don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. A full body routine with heavy barbell compound movements is the scientifically, physiologically best way to pack on muscle. However, the world is not a massive test tube. In reality, that is based on all the squat, deadlift, bench, row, press, all those exercises, those 5-minute exercises being executed perfectly. Every rep has to be executed perfectly. We're talking about a bench. And by the way, you're probably just a regular person watching this, right? Tell me if you know everything that I'm talking about, and stop me if you don't. We are talking about a bench set up squarely, feet dug in, backside dug into the bench, full scapular retraction, resting down on the trapezius muscles, recovering the bench, no forward rotation of the elbow during any part of the bench movement. We want the barbell coming down to sternum level here, with no rare rotation of the arms as the bar pulls up, so that all of the pressing motion comes from the chest and doesn't pull any onto the front deltoid. Now, if you're an average person, the chances of you A, understanding that, and B, being able to actually execute it with your current level of motor skills are about 1 in 7. I would say that from my experience, about 1 in 7 people can execute a maximum effort bench and still maintain perfect efficiency on it. Most people cannot do it. Even with lots of instruction, it takes months for people to execute bench. And bench is one of the simpler exercises. When it comes to squat, infinitely more complicated. People make far many more mistakes. So whilst it's true that physiologically speaking, full body is best, and I definitely agree with that, and I've said this a million times, do full body, everyone do full body. It may be the case that it's just better for you to do splits, because if you are making a mistake where you're not really hitting your chest as efficiently as you should be during a bench, if you just did a few more exercises on the chest, you'd be hitting it better, you'd be feeling better about your training, you wouldn't constantly feel like a failure, and you wouldn't be getting any types of shoulder injuries or picking up anything like that, and you get full development. Also, it's supposed to be fun. A lot of people don't enjoy full body. A lot of people don't enjoy splits. Do the one that makes you feel like when you wake up in the morning, yes, I'm going to the gym today. I love the gym. That's my favourite thing. I can't wait to train. The amount of times I finish training and I go, is that all I get to do? And I know I shouldn't really hit another body part here, because it's getting to the upper limit of how much like my connective tissue, my joints can take, so I probably shouldn't be doing this training. I finish training sessions and I look in the gym and I walk out the gym and like, I wouldn't mind doing it that way. Maybe I should go and do it. No, leave the gym. And if you're feeling like that about your training, you're going to make a lot more gains, a lot more forward momentum than anyone else. In terms of what weight you should use, you start off light and slowly build the weight. If you can't build the weight, build the reps. If you can't build the reps, do more sets. If you can't build the sets, cut the amount of time that you rest between each set. Those are in order of preference of what you should do. Not everyone's going to have the facility to go up. Not only is it just sometimes people can't go up, they can't go up in a small enough increment that makes sense. If your gym doesn't have smaller plates and you've got the option of doing a 50 kilo bench or a 60 kilo bench, it's not reasonable. So instead of going up in weight from 50 to 60, you do 50 and just add an extra rep, or maybe add an extra set, or cut down the time. And over the course of the few months you've been training, maybe by the time March comes, April comes, you'll be able to move up to that 60 kilo bench and drop the reps back down. Do whatever makes sense to you, whatever you have the facility to do with that which is available to you, and whatever you enjoy most, and whatever gives you the most buzz about going back to the gym and trying to work hard as you possibly can. What in terms of warm up should you do when you walk into the gym? I would advise you to Google the Limber 11 for your hips. do some band work with a rubber band, or just Google the word rotator cuff warm up, and limber 11. I say you should do that before you train every time. If there's a place where you feel like you're tight, stretch before you train. Is it true that stretching before doing weight-wearing exercises can reduce performance? Yes, it is. But once again, I'd like to remind you, this is not the Olympics. You are just trying to get yourself in shape. There's nothing wrong with a hamstring stretch, a quad stretch, doing a little bit of an adductor stretch, giving it some of this. I don't do this before I train because I have other exercising stuff I do. If you're feeling tight there, by all means, just stretch all your muscles out quickly before you train. You are not in the Olympics yet. Don't worry about what is scientifically the best, the pinnacle of what you should be doing. All you need to do is make sure you're not injuring yourself, you're keeping it safe, you're feeling good, you're feeling limber, you're feeling loose, you're enjoying your training, you're working hard, you're leaving the gym with a good sweat, and knowing that you put 100% of yourself into that which you did. So that when you come back again, you're a little bit stronger, so you can hit those adaptations and make new gains in strength that time. I'm sorry if this video is running on a bit, but I'm trying to compound all of the world of information and training into one video for people so they can just watch this and get started and skip all the garbage that is. YouTube is just full of so much garbage. Just calm down. This is what you need to do. Just walk into the gym, do these things. You can write your own program. If you don't want to write your own program, follow someone else's program. As long as you're hitting your muscles as often as possible. Hitting your muscles as often as possible while making sure that you stay healthy and you actually are allowing yourself some time for recovery. What that means is every day, that's too much. Every other day is probably too much. Once a week, probably too few. If you're doing a squat, if you do squats on Monday, the next time you squat is Sunday or Monday or Saturday even, it's too much. You want to be hitting your body parts at least twice a week. Contrary to what anyone else will say, your body does not need a full week to rest your legs, or your body's not going to be building muscles for 5 or 6 days before you can go and hit them again. So if you squat on Monday, try and squat again before that week is done, before squatting again on Monday. And if not that, sorry, there's no other way. You got to do it that way. But if you really hate it, it'd be better to squat than not to squat at all. So if you really can't take squatting more than once a week is more often than 99% of the population will be squatting. So I guess you're at least doing it. But try to get it 2 times, 3 times a week. If you're doing it 4 times a week, you're doing it too much. Calm down. 3 times a week, I would say, is what I would recommend. Twice, I would say, is the minimum. 1, if you really don't care at all and you just want to say that technically you did it and you're not actually interested in that development at all, then what can I say? I can't force you into the gym doing once a week, but that's the advice there. Really, that's what I'm going to do for this video. I'm going to get in more and more detail. I'm going to start getting into food as it comes up. But in the meantime, just eat like a human being, like I said in the last video. Cook it, eat it. Make your food not be McDonald's or Pizza Hut, and you'll be fine. You'll see the first gains just by hitting the gym. It's as simple as that. That lifestyle change. That's all you need for now. Don't get too excited. Try and change your whole everything in one day. Like today, I'm a lazy slob. Tomorrow, I am perfect clean eating, checking my macros. Going to do it for the next 5 years of my life. Always going to train. I train every single day. I go for a 5-hour jog in the morning. It's not going to sustain it. When you're training, this is the key. The last thing I would say on this: make your training reasonable to do on Christmas Day. If you can't imagine your level of training happening during, say, a holiday period, someone's birthday, Christmas Day, Christmas week, New Year's Day or something like that, if you can't envisage yourself doing the training that you do throughout these times where it gets all exciting, loads of things are happening because it's too intense, it's unlikely you will keep doing it for all that time. Make it sustainable. If it's not sustainable, you won't sustain it. It's all well and good to train every single day this week, but you're not going to get fit this week or next month or the month after that. This is a thing that you want to be doing for the rest of your life for years. So make sure what you plan on doing today, what you start doing today, you're going to be able to maintain that intensity 3 years from now when the novelty of it is worn off. That's all the advice I have on this. Bradley Aiden Johnson. Like, comment, subscribe, and some kind of outro that makes this all wrap together. Peace.